All right, young Romans, let's talk about nouns. Nouns are persons, things, places, qualities, or conditions. Nouns have three ingredients in Latin that we need to think about: case, number, and gender. We'll talk about the easy one first, and that's number. Number tells us how many persons, things, places, qualities, or conditions you have. Singular, Roman, enemy, soldier, virtue. Plural, Romans, enemies, soldiers, virtues. That's number. Gender tells us whether a noun is masculine, feminine, or neuter. We don't think too much about this in English, but in Latin we have to think about it a lot. The gender of some Latin nouns seems pretty obvious. The Latin word vir for man is masculine. The Latin word femina for woman is feminine. And the Latin word bellum for war is neuter. War is a thing, and things are neuter. The gender of other Latin nouns, though, must be memorized. You're going to have to memorize this. For example, the word for manliness, virtus, is feminine. Manliness is feminine. The word for fatherland, patria, is also feminine. Fatherland, feminine. And the word for thing, which seems like it should be neuter, is also feminine. And so oftentimes a Latin word's gender depends on how it's spelled rather than any sort of biological gender. There's also something that Latin nouns have called case, and this is the most complicated of the three ingredients that a noun has. Case tells you a noun's grammatical function, whether it's the subject, whether it's the direct object, whether it's an indirect object, whether it's the object of a preposition, and so on. Latin has 6 major cases. The first and most important is the nominative case, which is used for the subject of a verb. So in the sentence, Dido gave laws to the citizens, in Latin, Dido would be in the nominative case because it's the subject. The nominative case is also used as a subject complement, also known as the predicate nominative. So in the sentence, Dido was a queen in Africa, queen is a predicate nominative or subject complement, and that also would be in the nominative case in Latin. The genitive case in Latin is usually used to show possession. Venus is the mother of Aeneas. And in Latin, when we translate a word in the genitive case, we oftentimes have to add in the word of. The dative case is often used as a verb's indirect object. Dido gave laws to citizens. And when we translate the dative case in Latin, we oftentimes have to add in the word to. The accusative case is the second most frequently used case in Latin, and that is often a verb's direct object, or certain prepositions take accusative objects. So in the sentence, Dido gave laws to the citizens, in Latin the word laws would be in the accusative case. And in the sentence, Dido sailed toward Africa, the Latin preposition that means toward is followed by an accusative object. The ablative case is also used with prepositions. So in the sentence, Dido lived in Africa, in Latin, the preposition that means in has an ablative object. And then finally, there's the vocative case, and this is when you're directly speaking to someone. So if we say, Dido, come back, the word Dido would be in the vocative case here. All right, young Romans, so those are the 3 ingredients that you'll find in nouns, case, number, and gender. Good luck with those, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.